my previous video, I had shown you how to create a new project and how to start a new class. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can declare variable or how you can declare different data types and what can print the values stored in it. Let's start a new program, so new class. So I'm going to write new class like variable demo. I'm just going to give a class name which is more related to the program that which I'm going to write. So next, need to place OK. Now double click on it and it will open the editor, the actual editor for you. Now my editor is open, so as usual I'll cut everything and you can see the class name will automatically appear with this. Then I'll only leaving only the class block. I'll delete all other codes from there. Now variable declaration. When you say variable declaration, what is a variable declaration? Declaration of variable. Suppose here I'm declaring a int type variable. So in variable declaration, there are two parts. One is the data type, another one is the variable name. Now, if we want to store any value over here, you can directly store a value. Now, the point is when we store value in a variable, the data type will tell you what kind of data you can store over there. Now we have different data types in Java. Now, for example, we use integer, we use long, float, double, Boolean, character, and string. And when you call integer, we actually refer to the numbers that doesn't have any fractional part. Or long also, uh, there's a data type which says that we can use numbers without decimal part, and float type we use for the numbers which has some decimal or fractional part, and double also we use for fractional part. Now there's a question might come in your mind that 34 and 45 also a number type integer, then long is also numbers that do not have uh, any fractional part. Then why there are two types of data? So you can assume that suppose this is for smaller numbers. The detail I'll go later, and long is used for bigger numbers because the byte size that is occupied in computer memory, integer occupies 4 bytes and long occupies 8 bytes. Now float occupies 4 bytes and double occupies 8 bytes. And there are another Boolean data type that is called Boolean, which is true and false, which only can store true and false, and its size is 1 bit. Character, any character, A, B, C, D, or any other character that we can use in Java. But when we write character, we always write in single quote in Java, and it takes 2 bytes. Now, string type. Suppose if we want to store our name or a line, we can store it as a string in Java, and that we put within uh, double inverted code. Now, for all this data type, to tell computer that what kind of data we are using in a computer, so to tell computer that we use keyword. So keywords are the special word that conveys a special meaning to the Java compiler. So for integer we use int, for long we use long, float we use float, but uh, do remember all the data types keywords except string we use in we use small cases. but string s is always capital. Okay, we write in capital. So this is only difference in string. And whenever we write any keyword in a Java editor, you'll find that it will turn to red. That means uh, those keywords we cannot use as a variable name because these are the reserved words. Okay, except string, which won't change the color, but don't worry, it is still a keyword. But I'll go into the detail of string because you have noticed that I haven't put any size for string. Also, I'm not explaining why string doesn't change its color when you write string over there. But because today my focus is to just to teach you that uh, how to declare a variable. And now variable variable name is what? So variable name is something. Do remember that we are not using uh, somebody else's program. In fact, we are writing our own program. Now, for example, this is a hard disk. Okay, and when I'll write int a over there, int a, this statement will tell the compiler that you reserve a memory location in the computer memory somewhere wherever you can for a type variable integer type data, sorry, and give a dummy name to that location. Okay, so it is suppose if we are writing a is equal to 10 in the same line, so this 10 will get stored here. So this statement, when I'm writing this, so Java compiler will understand, okay, I'll have to reserve a memory location with a dummy name a, where I'm going to store a integer. And if we are putting any value, a is equal to 10, but this is called assigning a value. If we assign a value, that particular value will store in that particular location. So this is the specialty of declaring variable. Now I'll show you how we can declare different data types. So int is there, and long, suppose b is equal to anything you can write. Okay, and then float c is equal to 9.99, or double p is equal to say 78.887, or character character c is equal to say I'll write in single quote over here. So now one single character will be stored in c, and now I'm going to write string. I can see the string is not changing the color, but as usual you can give anything, any uh, like other variable declaration. You also can declare string. Suppose here I have uh, assigning a word. I am not a line. Let's start with a, let's say boy. Okay, now you see, when I'm assigning a string to the variable, I'm writing within inverted quote, and when I'm assigning a character, I'm writing within a single quote. Okay, these all these data types are same, so I'm just writing int one data type I'm using over here. Say I'm using double, so I'm using int double char string. You can even declare a boolean value also. Suppose say and boolean. Now you can see this has turned to red, so equal to true, which you can write directly true. Here we in boolean data boolean variable, we only can assign true or false, no other uh, data type. The details I'll go later. Today I'm just showing you how to. And now suppose if I want to print the values that are stored over here, we cannot. Uh, you know that for that we have to write, to display anything. We have to write system.out.println, and also I have already explained what is the difference between print and println in my previous video. So uh, but to give any output, the statement that we write is system.out.println. But in here, immediately we cannot write system.out.println. For that, I need a method void main. Now, as you see, void also turning to red, so it is also a keyword. Okay, what is the meaning of this keyword? I'll come to later, but uh, because it's just the beginning of our program, so you just remember that we'll have to write void main for the time being, because the details I'll go later. Now, suppose if I want to print any value of the variable system.out.println for output, and now I'm writing a directly over here, but I'm not writing within inverted. Why we are writing a? Because I already have told computer what a is. A is an integer type variable, and the value I'm storing there is 10. So always then I'm closing the bracket over here, so it won't print a, rather it will print the value that is stored over there. So accordingly, if you want to print the other values also that are stored in other variables, you can do the same thing. For example, I can write this as well, right? So here I'm writing, suppose D. So computer knows what D is. Then here I'm writing C. So computer knows what, here I'm writing as S, and here I'm writing B. But do always remember the variable name. You can give any variable name. But try to give a short variable name always, because in that case it will be easier. For example, you can even uh, keep your use your name as a variable without space, of course. But in that case, what will happen if you are writing system.out.println? Suppose if I write, say, um, Akash. Okay, now if I have to write over here again, I'll have to write it's a time consuming, so we try to give a small variable name always. But variable name always depends on the programmer. Okay, it's a programmer defined. You don't need to think that what variable name I should give. You can give any variable name, and whatever variable name you declare and whatever data type you'll declare, computer will accordingly reserve a memory location in a computer memory for your data. So now if we run this program, you'll see uh, variable demo new. Okay, now void main, you can see all the values that are stored in those variables are printing accordingly. And now if I the output, you can see the only the values are coming. We don't know what are the values are. We can format a little bit. You can even join a string with the uh, value that you are printing. So to join a line or a string that we will write directly with an inverted code, you can uh, just need to use a plus in between. I'll show you how. Suppose the integer number is colon, I'm giving a space, and this entire string will be joined with the value. Now this plus is for joining, it's not the normal normal plus that we use in mathematics. So this is for concatenation. Okay, and now set the D is the double number is, and now here I have to plus again, and then I'm using here C, the character character the character is plus C, and here I'm writing the string is, and here I'm writing the Boolean value is this. So now the program, now the output will be more meaningful. Now I'll show you by running this. New, that same class name will appear. Then after clicking on that, you'll get the red box over here. Then click on void main. Now you see the output become more meaningful. Like that, we can print different data values in Java. Two things you need to remember while assigning a variable is that whenever we assign any value to a variable, always that variable name will remain in the left hand side and the value uh, will be in the right hand side. And this assignment is not necessarily that you'll have to write this way. You can even assign it later on as well. Anywhere you will, suppose int a I have declared over here, and you can write a is equal to 10 over here also, not an issue. Okay, now still if you run the program, you'll get the same output. So here the difference is, here I'm writing the same line, here we're writing in two separate lines. And this is how you can declare variable, you can assign value to a variable, and also you can print the values. Now this is one way. Another way is that uh, you can also assign value to a variable at the time of running the program. Okay, now here for example, I'm leaving this int a uh, as it is, but the other data types, what I'll do, I'll write over here. This is called parameterized input. Parameterized input means you can pass the value to the function at a time of running. So parameters input, I'm just simplifying the my language as far as possible. The reason is this is just the beginning, so I'm not going into the detail of it. So if you want to input a value at the time of running the program, what you can do, instead of writing here, uh, you can declare the variable over here. So now suppose if I'm not writing int a, I'm writing other data types over here, because I just want to show you this in the same program the difference. Now here I'm writing suppose uh, double d I'm not assigning any value now. Next I'm writing char c. Next I'm writing string s, and you have to separate it with a comma, string s. And next I'm writing boolean b, comma, boolean b. Okay, so int a, I'm just leaving it like that just to show you both ways of declaring in the same program. So now if we run this program, what will happen is, see, no syntax error. Now if we right click over here, new variable demo. Okay, now right click, when you'll click right click, new variable demo. Okay, right click, uh, sorry, uh, here void main is appearing over here. If you click over here, now you can see you'll get this dialog box, and here you can see double d, char c, string s, boolean b, all are coming in gray. Also you just put your value whatever you want to store over there. 67.89 characters. C you write in single quote, say this time I'm writing uh, t. Okay, now string s write in double quote, suppose Robert, I'm just writing a name. And here boolean p, I'm suppose writing false. So now if you click ok over here, then automatically the integer number is 10, the double number is whatever I have entered at the time of running the program will appear over here. So this is another way to input values at the time of running the program. And the advantage of using parameters input is what? Is that every time, now if we declare something like this, then the value is fixed, because every time you run the program, the value of a is 10 only. But every time you run the program, you can see I can change my other values. Suppose now say 56 I am assigning over here. Then for example, character 56.98 I'm assigning here. Char C, suppose this time I'm assigning Q string, as this time I'm assigning India, and say this time I'm assigning say true. So if you run the program now, the values will be different. So this is one advantage of using parameters input in a program. I think your concept is clear on variable declaration. Only one point I want to uh, make clear in your mind is that suppose uh, when you were using int a, so you have understood that in the computer memory, you know, it will store a memory location with a dummy name called a for a integer type variable. And when you write something like long b, long say L, capital L. Now say for here also you can store, as you know that you can store numbers without decimal places. Okay. Now the difference is in int and long is of the byte size. So for this will take 4 byte, and long will take 8 bytes. So this statement will reserve a memory location in the computer memory with a dummy name called L for long type variable, but it will take more bytes, that is 8 bytes. So you can think that uh, if you think of a bowl, you can think that it's a smaller bowl and it's a bigger bowl. That's the difference. Where you can store a number up to a certain limit, definitely in long you can store double of it. So that is the difference between int and long and float and double. Okay, thank you for today. I hope you have understood uh, the concept of declaring variable and how to store data and how to uh, print data and how to give a message uh, or how to put a string in front of the value of the variable. Thank you.